Hello everybody and welcome back to Crusader Kings, where last episode we managed to go an entire episode without being at war. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen again. We're going to have a rebellion very soon here, but I don't expect these rebellions to actually be a significant problem. Assuming they don't all pop at once, which is a possibility. Hopefully that does not happen. That's the dream, anyway. For now, of course, we need to continue to work. Okay, this is actually perfect. These guys are popping right now. You want freedom? You'll have it in death. Okay, so we're going to rally our troops, and they only have 1,000 troops. They are up here. This is 830 of them. Wonderful. I'm going to drop a rally point right up over here. Yeah, this is fine. And we're going to raise just our men-at-arms. Nothing else. This is fine? Sure. That looks good. We're going to walk in here and fight these as soon as we're raised, which is going to be in 5 months, allegedly. We'll see if we want it to actually be that far. Now, Venadu just lost its lack of sheriffs. So that's useful, but it's not necessarily the biggest of deals, right? So that's absolutely fine. There's more factions behind this, of course, but we need to put this down, and we need to do it quickly. They're getting that done pretty quickly at this moment. We're going to confiscate religious property to raise funds, and that will definitely boost our income somewhat. Now, I'm betting this guy doesn't like that very much. We're still over 10 years in debt, and that's the majority of our problem here. So we need to get rid of that. That debt is absolutely our biggest problem right now. We're taking a long time to raise this, which isn't necessarily shocking. The question is, when will we actually arrive up here? And we gain deserting levies down over here? Okay, that's in Venembad. That's, of course, because we're very in debt at this moment. We can isolate our capital, and we can hold court, and I don't really care about either of those at this moment. Okay, this is enough. I'm going to stop gathering here, and we're just going to go in. This guy wants to submit to us and become a subjugated tributary. Done. We will absolutely accept that. So we're going to come in here. We're going to crush this. That should instantly end this rebellion. So we're going to enforce those demands and disband our troops. Okay. Perfect. And that took a very long time to zoom out. Okay, cool. Now we're able to zoom back in over here. So we gained a little legitimacy from that, which is good. Our legitimacy is awful. And we definitely want to do something about that, but there's very little we can do about it at this moment. We could borrow gold from a holy order, and to be honest, it's maybe a good idea, but I kind of want to wait until we are closer to coming out of debt. But, you know, if we do this, this guy will give us about 2,000 gold, which will reduce the amount of in debt we are in theory. We're still over 10 years in debt, according to this. So that's understood, and that's absolutely fine. We're going to continue to work on paying off our debt, and we, of course, want to demand some payments if we can here. These are not worth doing. This, however, I'm going to do. That's about another month's worth at this moment. Ooh, we are going to debase the coinage with inexpensive nickel. So that's going to give us 900 additional gold, most likely, and it did. That's excellent. That's a big chunk there. Now, this is not actually going to be the full amount, so we're going to wait on ransoming that guy. So that sounds good. Okay. How's this sway scheme going to go? Now, this guy, he's in poor health, but we'll see how this goes here. Overwhelmed by stress because we failed it. Okay. That is definitely not ideal. That was a 48% chance, so technically that's fine. Like, technically it's not necessarily surprising that that happened, but it is certainly sad. No doubt about it, we're rolling poorly on that. Oh, look at this. Additional taxes here, 537 gold. War has been declared on our tributary as well, which doesn't actually bring us into that, so that seems fine. We could, I think, interfere with that, but we're in no position to do so at this moment. So that's absolutely fine, and we do need to drop our stress level, like, a lot. Hi, Royal Court. You took a while to load. Okay, that's fine. So at this moment, the question is, what can we do to drop our stress level? We could order a mass eviction. That doesn't actually do anything for us at this moment. So with that in mind, I don't think there's a reason to do that. We can't lash out again for a couple more years, and we can't extort subjects for a couple more years either. But we are reducing our debt, which is very good. Legend added to library. Okay, now we do have more factions brewing. There's this independence faction, and can we do anything about this? Maybe. We can maybe get this guy out of the faction, but no valid characters found? Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. I mean, we don't have that many children right now, and that's absolutely fine. What I was really looking for here is unmarried daughters, ideally from this guy, but that's just not a thing right now. Out of curiosity, are any of his spouses currently pregnant? No, is the answer. Okay, that is unfortunate. So this guy is going to be the war leader here, and he's all the way up over here. We might want to preemptively raise forces up here, because we know it takes a while to raise our forces. And then the next faction behind this is a Liberty faction. Can we do anything about this guy? Maybe. Yes. Done. Okay, so we'll get this Liberty faction gone. There's also this peasant rabble that's going to theoretically spawn in 1 month. So I think we need to just wait for that. They can send their ultimatum at any time. We want them to do it sooner rather than later. So I'd really like to get something done here. Unfortunately, his sister here would not give us an alliance. That's very sad. Very, very, very sad. But we have already determined that. If it did, this would be so much better. Because we could just simply arrange a marriage like this. But yeah, you can see here, this marriage will not result in an alliance. I wish. What else could we possibly do here? Both of his daughters are already married, so that's not a great option. What else could we do? We could demand a hostage from him. He wouldn't accept this. Who even is this? It's his granddaughter. I don't think a grandchild would result in anything. Even if we were to marry her ourselves, I don't think that would be a thing. She's also 0 years old, so that would not be very useful for us, all things considered. So the timing here is the concerning part. I really want the peasants to fire right now. Like, instantly. And there they do. Perfect. A peasant's lot is to serve their lord. So they're right over here, and we can crush them fast. Because our troops are going to be here. We can raise just our men-at-arms, and we can see they'll be here instantly. Now we can walk up over this way and crush this peasant rabble. We can get a new stewardship perk, which is fantastic. I'm just waiting for it to pop in here. There we go. And we're going to take detailed ledgers, for sure. Okay, so we need to get up here. We need to fight these. Let's see. This is actually... What faction is this? This is the Independence faction, and this is the leader of the Independence faction here. So we could try to convince him. 34% chance. We can pay him 900 gold, and that would delay. This would be an act of tyranny, and we would imprison him. We'd also lose a little legitimacy. Not like we have any to lose. That's very interesting. So the act of tyranny, our subjects would lose 20 opinion, but they all hate us anyway. I'm just going to imprison him. Okay, so the faction is going away. We just need to let them update. They're at least much weaker. This guy's still in the faction. Now they're too weak to send an ultimatum. Perfect. So that looks good, and we do have these rebels out over here still. So we need to walk our troops down this direction for right now. And the question is, where are they going to? Oh, they're just walking into Kalam. Okay, sure. We just happen to already be going there. That sounds good. Okay, so because of this siege, we are no longer increasing control in Kalam. I absolutely want to be increasing control wherever we can at this moment. So I'm going to walk up over to here, and we're going to work on increasing control here for the moment. But we want to move back over here, because you can see we're losing control due to our lackluster administration. So we want to be over here after this is done. Okay, our court chaplain died, and there's no valid characters for our court chaplain. That's awkward. Why are there no valid characters for this? I'd love to appoint a court chaplain. We can't. Let's give it like a month tick and see if it spawns a new one. Or maybe we would need to, like, invite Shorveers or recruit for a court position. No, this is not recruiting for that sort of a court position. Okay, so this war is over. That's fine. We're going to enforce those demands. We're being raided. I'm not too concerned about that. I'm going to put these guys down. There we go. They're going to head home. And now we need to change our control over to Kalam again. There we go. So that's looking okay, although we're losing control here right now. I think this just hasn't updated. Okay, we really need a court chaplain here. Like, really, really, really badly. What can we possibly do about that? None of our vassals are apparently eligible to be a court chaplain, and I think that's because they're landed. So we need unlanded courtiers, right? That's what we need right now. So I'm actually going to see, do we have anybody visiting our court right now? Well, yeah, but we can't pay to recruit them because we're in debt. We really need a court chaplain. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to check in on some of these courtiers here. I'm going to sort by learning skill. And then we've got, well, there's this guy, but this is not all that ideal. I'm actually going to look at some claimants here. So we've got our uncle here. We could invite him to court, and he would actually do. He would come. So we're going to bring him in. He has arrived at our court. He's very angry. This is the guy we fired previously, I'm pretty sure. But I'm not entirely certain about that. So what we need to do now is assign him here. He's not going to be happy about it, and we need to start swaying him. But it's better than no one. So we're going to get to work on that, and this ransom is acceptable. That'll be 10 gold. Thank you. 200 gold here. Now, this guy is a king-level vassal. We have to decline that one. This guy is also a king-level vassal. I think it's the same guy, actually, and that seems okay. So now what do we have in this list? Nomads. Okay. I don't care about nomads. That's absolutely fine. We're just going to continue to work our way out of debt at this moment. So we're working up our control levels. Out over here, we can see our control level is growing. Our control level here is growing as well. Our control level here is shrinking, but it's already at 0. And yeah, our court grandeur is decreasing. That's because we're spending that money on other things. We're growing pretty quickly in control level out in Madurai. And out here in Mahal, we are growing now because this lost the lackluster administration. Okay. So we're only shrinking in these two locations at this time. And this is going to go away in 63, and this is going to go away in 67. Assuming that we don't get lucky and cleanse off the corruption. So that's understood. A favor hook on us expired. This guy is a king-level vassal. We decline. We can't afford to let them go right now. We have to keep them imprisoned. That's the only thing keeping them in check at this moment. Ruthenia was forfeit. Okay, yeah, that's probably because we're not contesting anything up over there. As of right now, we can't do that. We'll get back there eventually, theoretically. Emphasis on theoretically. So we're making 150 gold per month right now, and we do really want to find, ideally, somebody else other than our uncle. So I'd like to find someone who has high learning. This guy actually, this uncle kind of likes us. He's only 10 learning, but I'm going to call him back to our court. He has arrived at our court, and can we put him in here? He's at minus 47. That's a lot better. He's also younger. Okay, so that sounds good. We're going to work on swaying him. Okay, so minus 47. Most of that is because we're over 5 years in debt now. Okay, this just switched. This was at 10 years. Now it's 5 years. So we're at minus 40. That's a very good sign. That's a very good sign. We need to continue to work on bringing up all of our control levels. That's of very high priority. This ransom is acceptable. We will take 10 extra gold. Liberty faction disbands. That's good. At this moment, the only factionalism is these nomads. Now, they're going to fire, but they're not particularly threatening. And that's absolutely okay. We can see that our soldier count is just steadily increasing, as is our income. And once we get out of debt, we're going to be in a much, much better position. We're going to be able to have a coronation, which will get us legitimacy. We're going to be able to bring up we're going to be able to bring down our stress. We really need to get out of this stress level. And we just can't right now. So that's all there is to it. We just got to work our way through this debt. And a lot of that is going to be getting this control under control, if you will. Okay, so what is this? Yeah, we could take some friendship progress there. That seems okay. So our legitimacy is awful, and that's not necessarily surprising given all we've been dealing with. But as of right now, we just got a daughter. That's a big deal, actually. Diplomatically speaking, she will be very useful in the future. No doubt about that. I'd really like to drop our stress level. We just don't have any option to do it. What do we got here? Ah, the nomads again. You want freedom? You'll have it in death. This is what I'm saying about the nomads just re-popping over and over and over extremely quickly. But where are they? They're going to be up over here? Sure, that seems fine. So I will drop our rally point here. We're going to raise just our men-at-arms, and we're going to head right on in. So our men-at-arms will arrive here. This time it's only 2 months until they arrive here. Interesting. Also, yeah, I see all of this up over here. That's exciting. I'm not sure who's occupying this. It must be this guy. They're attacking our tributary, I believe, and that's a whole thing. For the time being, we can't really deal with that. So we're going to raise up our forces here. That's fine. We, of course, don't really want to pay for this, but what can we do? Gift artifact. Yes. Speaking of which, we should probably sell some of these artifacts. I'm going to unequip this one. I'm going to equip the prize bow. And then we've got this coronation regalia here, and that's fine. Apparently we can't equip it. Oh, right, because we're not coronated. Okay, that's fine. As far as trinkets go, prestige, yeah, that's fine. And then we've got this here. Prestige would be okay. Plague resistance, I guess, is fine. Okay, we can then equip this, and then we can equip, say, this. Now, we don't need 2 regalia, so I would like to destroy this artifact. That'll gain us 80 gold. Well, which one of these do we want to destroy? Actually, yeah, it's this one. So that'll gain us 80 gold. We don't have any crowns. As far as journals go, I'm going to destroy this one for 22 gold. I'm going to destroy this one for 57 gold. We cannot destroy this. Okay, that's noted. We can't destroy a bunch of these, but this one we can. So that's another 24 gold. And then we can destroy this one. That's another 22 gold. Okay, I'm going to destroy this sword, even though it's basically nothing. There we go. And we don't have any real trinkets to destroy at this moment. So that's about all we can do at this juncture, other than trying to sell some of these artifacts to other people, which might not be a bad idea for some of these journals. So if we were to, we could gift the artifact. Do we have an option to try to sell the artifact? I don't think so. Okay, so that's a little bit unfortunate. So we're going to finish gathering our forces here shortly. Lack of sheriffs has popped up due to our lack of funds. We're working on it. We're working on it. So we're going to hop down over here and take this right on back. Question is, do we capture their leader? We did not. Okay, so we need to take this over, and then we need to walk all the way up over this way to wherever these guys are going. They're going to go here, I think. Yeah, that's fine. So we need to get that done. We're going to turn a quick profit with some clever trades and make another 45 gold, which is about half a month's worth of income with our men-at-arms raised like this. So that's definitely something to note. Did we succeed in swaying our court chaplain there? We did, and he's actually endorsing us a little bit now. Not maximally. We've got a long ways to go there. But he is actually endorsing us a little bit, and that's a huge deal. So we're going to wander up over this direction, get these guys eliminated, and then once they're gone, this rebellion will be over, at which point we'll be able to put these troops back down and be making another good chunk of money. We should be close to about 200 gold per month at this moment, and that's going to help us work through this debt fairly rapidly, for sure. We can ransom this person. I'm going to wait a little bit here, and we're going to walk in right over here. That should end this war. Indeed it does. Okay, we lost some stress here, bringing us down a stress level. That's a big deal. We're going to enforce those demands, which gains us a little bit of legitimacy, and we're going to put down our troops. Okay. So, now we do have a dangerous faction brewing here, and this is going to be more of these nomads, but they're actually going to disband for now. And our stress level has reduced, which is good. The real question is, we can lash out, and we should definitely get this on cooldown. So that's 26 more stress reduced. And this ransom is acceptable, so we'll take 10 additional gold here. And we'll ransom this guy for 50 gold. Now that guy has the money for it. Perfect. So that will help us a little bit towards our coming out of debt. We have a new stewardship perk available. This is going to be Fearful Troops. So that'll reduce our men-at-arms maintenance per dread, which is, again, useful. But what we really want at this point is that sweet at any cost into avaricious. Those are going to be very useful for us in coming out of debt. It is 61 at this moment, and that means that Kalam will be losing its lackluster administration in about 2 years. And we'll be in Kamanur in a little while after that. Now, what is this faction? This is a Liberty faction, which is this guy. I bet we can do something about this. Because we definitely want to do something about this. We don't want to fight this guy. I'm going to ask him to convert. Let's see what he says about that. He'll do it for a hook. I'm going to give him the hook. So he's very upset, and that's not very surprising. We're still over 5 years in debt, but what we really want to do is now that he converted, we can theoretically get some marriages going here. So that would be ideal. Now, he does have primarily female children here. We can actually arrange a marriage with him directly with this daughter that we just recently had. And he's a powerful enough vassal that I think this is worth doing. So we can do that. That'll be okay. We have a mental break, and we are going to lose 39 stress. Okay. And that guy escaped. Not ideal. Okay, an alliance has been formed with that fine gentleman. Perfect. And that faction has now disbanded. So now what is the factionalism? No factions are powerful enough at this moment. We can now take this ransom. That's 100 gold. Done. And then we can extort subjects, which we definitely want to do right now. Now, where are my loyal subjects? Okay, we are going to get county extorted here. So that's 900 gold. And that will definitely help us work our way out of debt here. Lackluster administration has popped in Madurai. That is not ideal, but we're at 100 control here, and we're actually still growing. So this doesn't matter except for the levy reinforcement rate. Okay, so that's absolutely fine for right now. And what is our current indebted level? Over 5 years in debt still. Okay. So we just successfully swayed this guy again. He's at plus 56. He's now maximally endorsing us. That's perfect. So I'm going to stop trying to sway him because we're gregarious. We don't want to fail those sways because that will build up stress. And otherwise, that looks great. We're now making 328 gold per month, and we are definitely working our way through this debt. We have a lot of work to do on that. Like, a whole lot of work. This says we're over 5 years in debt. Is that still true? 4 years in debt now. Okay. Perfect. So that means that we're going to start losing a lot of that opinion malice. And that is a very big deal for us. I don't want to put 1102 gold into that. I'm sorry. There's nothing we can do. RIP legitimacy, but that's fine. Migration to places vassal. Okay. That's understood. This guy wants to give us a great hair hide. It's only got 1 year left on it. Let's hop into our court artifacts here. And I want to check in on some of these pedestal artifacts out over here. So this one here, this only has 6 years on it, and I'd like to destroy this. That'll be 43 gold. Okay, that sounds good. And then I want to check in on all of this up here. So we are displaying all of those. So that seems fine for the moment. And then what about our furniture? We're displaying both of those. And do we have any thrones? No. Okay. Just trying to loot everything that we can for gold right now. However, we're in a much better spot in terms of our military at this moment. It's not a good spot, but it's a better spot. At this moment, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we're going to continue working our way out of debt. Once we get out of debt, we're going to be in a really good position here. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, Spock, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.